All right, this morning, HUD Secretary Ben Carson announcing an agreement with the Department of Justice regarding the FHA program. Both departments are hoping to bring back the program that some banks and lenders abandoned after the financial crisis. Joining us now with the details, Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson. Not everyone, I think, it's good to see you, Mr. Secretary, by the way. It's been a while. But not everyone's aware of the problem and aware of the solution. Can you quickly just go into what happened after the financial crisis? Who's now involved with this, and how do we get some of the big players back in?
Well, after the financial crisis, the Department of Justice and HUD began going after many of the banks who had been engaged with many of the loan practices. And they were so vigorous in their pursuit of these individuals. They did get a lot of money, but they basically drove them away because in many cases the banks had only been involved in some very minor non-material defect in the process and were slammed with enormous fines and suspensions. And those things were problematic, and they drove our base away. Almost 50% of the people who originated loans that were insured by FHA were depository banks. That number is down to less than 15% now because of the way that people have fled. So we really looked at all of that, and we said, what can we do to fix this? So we really revised the annual eligibility certifications, the loan limit certifications, and the defect taxonomy so that we even out things. Non-material errors are looked at very differently now. And this doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that we're not going to vigorously pursue fraud and people who do things intentionally. But non-material, ineffectual things, we're not going to torment people about those. We will make sure that they learn from them. You know, our servicing of the servicers is much improved in the new financial revision package. And there are a lot of people talking about affordable housing now, you'll notice. But this is something that actually will make a difference.
Not everyone, just to summarize, these are mostly first-time and low to moderate home buyers, moderate income home buyers. With only 15%, less than 15% of the lenders now being depository, who picked up the slack, and was it picked up, and what's the problem with the entities that are doing it right now, Mr. Secretary?
Yeah, well, you know, the non-depositories have helped to fill in the gap, and we love them. They're wonderful people. We enjoy working with them. But, you know, we want to expand the credit pool for low and moderate income people. You know, the major mechanism for building wealth in this country is home ownership. And doing it in a responsible way, that's the key. And this is all looked at in terms of sustainability. Not only do we want to put people in homes, but we want them to be able to stay in those homes so they can accumulate that wealth. So we need, you know, all the people in the market, but we most definitely need the depository lenders to come back. Well, and already many of them have contacted us about getting training for this, also more training for the condo. You know, the condo rule came out very recently, too. These are things that will make a difference for low and income people. The
non-depository institutions are not regulated as highly. Have there been more problems with these lenders, or and how many do you expect to get back to? 45%, 50%, where that would be more highly regulated, and the banks themselves. Do you expect to get back there after this, or it's slow going?
I suspect things will normalize once we once again establish a normal environment for people to work in. You know, we live in a society where, you know, market forces rule. And market forces mean that people look at the things that are advantageous to them, things that are not advantageous to them, and they act accordingly. So I think we'll get back to a very good place very quickly. But again, I do want to emphasize, you know, we love the non-depository lenders too. but we want to normalize the market once again.
All right. Well, good luck, Mr. Secretary. Come back and update us on the progress here and other things you're working on. It's been a while, as I said, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.